Hello everyone and welcome to Console Spear Tier 3. My name is Thomas and next to me is Lewis, and we're here for the Belgium Grand Prix. Currently on screen we've got the driver standings with Matty Robo leading the way, Ricky and Robert equal on points, Connor, Ray Snipes, Justin, Jizzy, Dan, Jay Prentice and Harold rounding off the top 10. Unfortunately Charlie, Steve, Lars still on 0 points. Chris unfortunately left Tier 3, so he is not gonna score any points today. But we're here for what was my home Grand Prix the last couple of games. Now of course it's the Dutch Grand Prix, but I'm really looking forward to this track. It always provides some good racing, so I'm really looking forward to it. Currently on screen for you guys we are having the track. It's not a really tricky track, it's a pretty high speed track actually. We've got Monza of course, but also this track with an average speed of 240 kilometers an hour, pretty fast one. Of course the mighty Pouon and Eau Rouge. 2 detection points, one on the start finish straight, one on the camel straight. A lot of difference in height and 20 corners. Hopefully we will see a lot of overtaking. People who use ABS will have a little bit of an advantage around here with the tricky corners, as Lasur hairpin, no name, Brussels corner, but we will have to wait and see. Constructor standings, Alfa Romeo is dominating, currently on 132 points, Ferrari with 80 points and Haas in P3. The teams who are lacking a bit are Renault and Mercedes. They definitely want to improve on this one. Mercedes are not here, so that's going to be impossible for them, but I'm sure Renault will do their absolute best. And now we go live to the action where Lewis is next to me. Lewis, mate, happy you're here in the commentary box with me. How are you doing?
Yes, good evening everyone. Welcome to this, what should be another fascinating round of the championship for the year, Tier 3 drivers. Matty obviously winning it at the moment, consistently high up and also getting the wins as well in the crucial stages so far. We are still in the first half of the season. Yeah, like you said, it's a track similar to Monza in that it's high speed, but a little bit more technical. We do have that middle sector, which does require a reasonably high downforce setting. That's where you have to compensate with the long power areas of sector 1 and 3. It's a tricky track to get the right setup and balance right, but if you get it right, you can really make the difference, particularly in those power zones. So yeah, looking forward to it.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to it. I'm having the chat next to me, and it is gonna rain for today's race. Finally, it's raining in a Tier 3 race. Matty Robo in the chat as well, he says, monsoon-like conditions, one Alpha is happy, the other side is pissed off. And I can already tell that I know which side is pissed off and which side of the garage is very happy. I'm talking about Dan. He is gonna be a happy bunny, and he's definitely gonna be looking forward to today's race. 20 people watching right now, happy you're all here watching the EU3 race. It's always guaranteed for a lot of action and a lot of entertainment, so sit back, relax, grab yourself a snack, grab yourself something to drink and enjoy for the next hour and a bit, because I'm 100% sure this is going to be a great race once again, as Dan puts in a 143.0. He is currently leading today's qualifying session, going on board with Ricky. Let's see what the Welshman can do in the Ferrari as he goes through the bus stop now. And then onto the start finish straight. DRS open right now, onto the line, runs out of ERS, but it's all good. 142.7. Currently Ricky on pole position.
Yeah, really good lap time. 1.27. Early on, with the track still green, we expect that to tumble. We're looking probably whole lap time to be in the low 140, the high 141s. It's going to be around the pole time, so we still have a bit of time to improve. Only 4 have set a lap time. There's a few guys on hot laps. Rob is towards the end of his hot lap. So Rob is coming to the final bus stop corner, a little bit wide. Not the best of exits, but will it improve him into P1?
It does. Good job from Robert. Let's see, I think that is a Red Bull of Justin. Yep, through the bus stop. Let's see what the Dutchman can do. Oh, that's a Ferrari losing it. But Justin puts it up into P3, really close to the time of Ricky with 142.7 as well. That's the Dutchman up into P3, and it was Charlie actually losing the car coming out of bus stop, which put him up into P4 with 142.8, but there's still room for improvement, we saw, because it was a really bad exit from Charlie as Rage Snipes puts it up into P2 with a 142.5.
So the track not quite at the conditions that you normally see later on. Maybe it's because it is a cloudy, overcast condition. The track temperature will be cooler. Matty is on his first hot lap through start of sector 2 now. Very neat and tidy, got plenty of grip in that car in the slow speed section, so it looks very stable. Now this is the high speed corner. How much grip has he got? It's very comfortable. Looks very good this lap from Matty Robbo. As we come towards the end of sector 2, carries a lot of speed and hooks it in simply. You don't always want to hit that second curve, it can rotate the rear. This corner I find has more grip this year. And it's very well done, 130.9. So he's close, he's on the pace. With Rob, I think, he's very close. Comes towards bus stop, he might not get a bit of toe from the car ahead of him. Probably not.
Ooh, but he out of ERS already through the bus stop.
Yeah.
So that could maybe hinder his lap time a little bit. Goes onto the line, but it's still pole position. 142.2 for Matty Robbo, the championship leader. He will be pleased with that one. Rosas in the chase, is qualifying on a wet setup making any difference? Well, I think the wet setup, it's probably got a little bit less brake pressure. Ride height will probably be a little bit higher. The wings maybe as well. So I think in general it will be slower doing qualifying. And I think the big difference will probably be the amount of adjustments they made to either the wet or the dry. So we have to wait and see, but it will definitely make a difference. Well,
Yeah,
142.2. Yeah, 142.2, 142.3 is like still pretty decent for a banker lap time. So I think Matty and Robert are still running mostly. I don't know what the weather is exactly gonna be. Assume, seeing these kind of times, that it's definitely gonna rain for a little race, but I don't know if it's gonna be raining for the whole race. So yeah.
This is one of those things we get with this game. You might have a prediction, but even that prediction isn't 100% accurate. The weather does actually something different. So once we get a bit more clarification whether it is rain for the whole session or not.
Oh yeah, I've got Spot in the chat. He says it's slamming it down, Thomas. Okay, so yeah. I assume it's gonna be the full rain for like the whole race. In that case, Matty and Ro would probably run a wet setup as well, and then it's still a pretty good time, to be honest. Heavy rain at the start, transition to light rain. Okay, fair enough. So it will probably be like wet to inters, if not that it stays wet for the whole race. And then you come to the interesting part, because when it rains, you are not dealing with the tire rules of having to change to a different compound. You should, if you can make it on the one set wets, you can do it. If you have to stop for another set of wets, it's still okay. You don't have to stop for like wets and inters or inters and wets. It can just go all the way, and people who are really good on the tires can definitely make a difference in this race.
Very good point actually, because you go the whole race without having to stop. You are kind, and it is 22 laps. It's 50% race distance. Rob, a lot of them talk about Rob, Rach, Ricardo, Ricky, rather. They're all about to start their hot laps, so best pay attention to those guys with their second out of 3 runs.
Yeah, Blades invalidated again. He goes into the pit, so he had 2 attempts. And none of them have been successful, so that's definitely something to look out for Blades. He will probably make sure that he's gonna get a lap time in for the last one, but it will be a little bit more cautious, I reckon. Currently on board with Jizzy, he ran wide going through Pool, but it didn't invalidate his lap time, so he is allowed to go on. But I think he lost a little bit of time, probably 2 tenths. as he goes through Stavelo now onto Blanchimont. Lovely French accent.
Very good.
Yeah, I'm doing my best. Now through Blanchimont, where we saw the brilliant overtake from Verstappen on, I think it was Felipe Nasser, not biased at all, of course. Now through bus stop, let's see what GC can do in the Orange Beast onto the start finish straight, and he puts it up into P14 with 143.8. Probably won't be happy with that one. Immediately going on board with Robert, as I think he is gonna be the first one of the top guys to put in his lap. Oh no, there's a Ferrari up front actually. Is that Ricky?
No, Robert's ahead of Ricky. Robert is he's a quarter of a second up on his previous best. So if he gets the bus stop right, he is looking at a 142 dead or 142.1 right here.
It's Ricky going through the bus stop now.
Yeah, Rob's ahead of him.
Ah, yeah, I'm sleeping. Robert onto the line. Puts it up into P1. What's Ricky gonna do? Oh, on for the 2.4. Big improvement from Robert as Medi Robbo is about to start his lap. Oh, there's a Red Bull.
Red Bull, yeah, right, Justin.
Spun coming out of bus stop. You saw Charlie struggling as well coming off bus stop. And Justin did exactly the same.
And they're all going to struggle to get back. Because this is a long lap. They've got 4.5 minutes to get back in, do their stop. Well, they obviously have the time, but they're going to have to rush.
Yeah, definitely.
And Matty, he's only got he only has one run left. He's deliberately, I guess, done. He's going for 2 runs. And he's slightly down in his first sector, previous best.
Matty's car looks so planted around here. It's actually insane how good it looks. But is it gonna be quick? Is he improving? Onto Pool now. Yeah, look at this. He can even clip the inside curb, which most of the time just wants to run you into the wall. He's riding those curbs beautifully. And he goes on to the second sector split now as he runs through Stavolo. And he is he was almost full 10 up, but he invalidated running wide in Stavolo. And this is the weird part. Yeah, it's just, you know what the thing is, like we all saw the Grand Prix around here in real life, and they went so wide through Stavolo and onto Blanchimont. But on this game, if you only look outside of the white lines, you already got an invalidation. So yeah.
He's going in now. That's the only good thing. He can have another attempt, but he'll have to use his third set of softs, which shouldn't be an issue. The fact that he won't be using dries for the race, so he will have another bite. Just about. He has to get on with it.
Going on board with our captain now, as he is approaching Blanchimont. Currently in P5. Will be happy with that one already, but can he improve even more? He's running really low on the US. He probably invalidated his first run, went for a second, yeah, and he's going in. And it clips the outside wall, but I think he just got about time to put on a new fresh set of tires and go out again, because otherwise he would have finished his lap time. Let's see, Charlie is currently on a quick lap. He is almost a 10th up, so let's go on board with the Ferrari driver. Let's see what he can do. Tishy in the chat, he says if an Alfa Romeo gets a 1-2, then I give a sub. So that's something we need to keep in mind. Yeah, and I 100% agree, Blaze. They should definitely improve the track limits.
Yeah, that's what compared to the old game, I feel like they've made it even stricter.
Yeah, they've made it even stricter, but it was already like not compatible at all on the last game, and they made it even worse. It like, to be honest, like it's for everyone. It's the same. Like you can't like really complain about it, but if you just see the real life Grand Prix and then you see this, like you're like, you've come such a long way by having a realistic game, and then you do these kind of things to the game which makes it worse again. It's such a shame.
Yeah.
Well, talking about Charlie now, going on to the start-finish straight, and he puts in a 142.4, just about behind Ricky. But the Ferrari is looking really strong in P3 and P4. I see everyone on their outlap. Yeah?
I'm guessing the clock, our clock's a little bit earlier.
Yeah, I reckon.
A lot of these guys are on just out laps.
Yeah, you can see the Rage Snipes on the racing point goes through Russell Corner now. So I assume he is still okay. Because Charlie was the last one to set a lap. So I think after Rage Snipes it will be done and no one will have time enough to put in another lap. Roland. Oh, Sneaky Tom clipped the wall on the outside, going through Stavolo, but I don't think he got any damage of it, but he definitely lost some time already out of ERS as well. Even before the bus stop. That's definitely gonna cost him some time through bus stop now. Hitting those apexes. And what is he gonna do? It improves only to P15. Won't be happy with that one. But now everything is gonna kick off. We firstly go on board with Connell. Oh no, that's not true. I think it's Joe, it is, in P9. He's the first one to set a lap time, unless it's Pure Blades in front of him. I think it is though. Yep, it is. It's Pure Blades going through Pool now. So he's the first one to cross the line. And he invalidated it. Again. Let's have a look at Lars. Oh, look at Lars. He's almost 6 tenths up. Big improvement for the Dutchman. Let's see what he can do. Approaching bus stop now. Out of ERS as well. But that should be no problem. As he comes across the start finish line. Puts it up into P7. Good job from Lars. Now going on board with Joe. Oh, improving 6 tenths as well. Everyone is improving 6 tenths out of nowhere.
The track's getting rubbered in. Here goes Joel. Up to P2.
Oh, what a lap. What a lap. Robert through bus stop now. He is not gonna improve, I think. No, he's not. 0.02 of a second. Now
he's 2 tenths up.
Ricky invalidated and Matty is improving. So let's go on board with Matty Robert, the championship leader. Is he gonna improve and snatch pole position from Robert? Charlie gets out of the way nicely. Ricky retires into the pits. Matty Robert gets a good exit. Now onto the line. Oh, there's an improvement. The same time.
Same time.
No way.
Oh my god. This is the thing though, I thought in real F1, it's the guy who sets it first that starts on pole. And in this instance,
yeah, so for some reason,
that's unbelievable.
Really strange.
That's a first. It's an identical lap time. And I think that's it, apart from Sneaky Tom.
Yeah, this is it. Yeah, Sneaky Tom already did his lap. They're coming across the start-finish line now.
2 racing points are...
Oh my days. Interesting quali. But we're gonna say goodbye to this lovely sun. And we're gonna see some poor conditions as soon as we get back to this track. 40 people watching right now. It will be raining in the race, but still get your predictions in. Little tip, maybe put Dan up there. So we're waiting for Thibaut to...
Yeah, looking at Dan's lap times, you definitely can see the guy who's further back. I've got full-blown wet setup there. Dan, 143 dead, that's nowhere near the pole time. The thing is, if he's going to try and stay out of trouble with going up Eau Rouge in the first lap of heavy rain. That's going to be a bit of a nerve-wracking experience for P11, but if he can get through it all, then he will be sitting very pretty with that setup.
Yeah, definitely. He is looking really solid. Rosa with the prediction of Matty, Charlie and Robert. Kelsweg is in the chat. He says Rage, Justin, Sneaky Tom. Blaze with Ricky, Dan, Robert. A lot of different predictions, but here we have it.
Have you seen that on the gap symbol?
I haven't seen this ever.
Plus minus.
Plus
That's
minus,
crazy.
I haven't seen that one. Matty, Robbo in pole position, Robert P2, Joe P3, brilliant job. Ricky P4, Charlie P5, Psych at P6, Rage Snipes P7, Justin P8, Lars P9 and Roland rounding off the top 10. Then P11, Connell P12, Thibaut P13, Jizzy P14, Sneaky Tom P15 and Blaze has been able to set a lap in P16. So we head over to a raining Spa. Quite familiar side actually.
Yeah, I was about to say, this is, oh yeah, this is how I remember
Oh my
Spa.
days, this is terrible. Get your boats out.
Brilliant. This is brilliant. We've got a race now.
Speedboat simulator. Rosa with the inside information, Justin Underdog showed some good pace earlier. So definitely someone to look out for as well. Lars said he was hoping to score some points today to finally get off that 0 point score. So wishing him some luck as well. Sneaky Tom being the naughty boy again by pressing X already. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see when the light rain period is gonna come, because it will depend on whether they're gonna stop for an extra set of wets or immediately gonna go on to the intermediate tire. And I'm really looking forward to the guys who've got some pace in the wet. We know Dan has got some pace, but I don't know about the rest, to be honest.
Yeah, I have not seen any wet running at all around Belgium. And this is, like you said, the first wet tier 3 race, so a lot of these guys, we don't know what the form is like. All we know is from past experience. Dan has always been very comfortable with the wet conditions. And a lot of the guys who were also good in wet last year moved up. So Ricky, I expect Ricky to be pretty good as well. But how good is Ron? How good is John Ranger? All these new guys, find out very shortly.
Yeah, definitely. Let's see. I assume everyone is on the wet tire. Yep, they are. So no different strategies whatsoever. There is a Renault. That's Thibaut, who got a little bit of a delayed start, but we're all good. Let's get the standings up on screen for the guys who missed the start of today's stream. We've got Matty Robbo leading the way with 107 points. Robert being in P2 together with Ricky, both on 68 points. Then Connell in P4 with 59 points, Rage Snipes 52 points, and Justin 45 points. After Justin has a big gap to Jisoo with 29 points, so it's definitely the top 6 we're looking forward to. In the constructor standings is Alfa Romeo leading the way with 132 points, and after that it is Ferrari with 80 points, and Haas and Racing Point both on 68 and 65 points, so they're really close as well. Yeah, I don't know about this one. It will have to wait and see how the first couple of laps are gonna pan out. Can't really say who's gonna win this race.
No, at all. I mean, conditions. Are we going to have, because this game has shown a big improvement, because Rouge Radion was a death trap in the last game. In this game it's much better. But what's it like in the wet? You know, it's so many questions, because I don't know about you, but I don't think I've driven in the wet in this version of the game in 2020. So I think a lot of these guys are going to be pretty, the one who's going to take the gamble and try and go for the throttle on the opening lap of Radion. We're interested to see whether they survive. So it could be fireworks here.
Yep. Here we've got the predicted pistol strategy on screen right now. You can either go for the 1-stop or the 2-stop, but like we said before, it's gonna transition into light rain halfway or at the end of the race, so probably we'll be seeing some guys gamble on going to the intermediate tire at the end of the race, but of course we have to wait and see as everyone is going and entering their grid slots. So we're getting ready for the EU3 Belgium Grand Prix. We're building up for 5 red lights. It's Monday the 14th of September. So we're waiting for the grids. Matty Robo building up the reps. And away we go for the Belgium Grand Prix. It's a good start from the Haas driver. Is Robert gonna get side by side through Lassour's hairpin? No, he's not, but still remains in P2. Is Joe going round the outside of Charlie? Oh, but Charlie takes P4. It's Gigi leading the way, that's not correct. He already got disqualified. Oh my days. So it's Matty Robo now leading the way. Yep, there we have it. And Robert in P2. That's already the Renault having troubles. That is Profodes.
Yeah. He had a spin in the first corner. I don't know if he has wing damage. But yeah, he was in nice.
Ray Snipes with a brilliant start. Already up into P4. He got past Joe. After the camel straight. Through Brasso corner they go. Solid start from Matty. Robert solid in P2 as well with Charlie in P3. Good start from him as well. Joe already losing a second to Ray Snipes. Of course, with these kind of conditions they don't get DRS after lap 3. So they have to do it on pure pace.
Dan's gained a place so far in this opening lap. So the spray is so bad when you have this amount of cars right ahead of you. And he definitely looks the quicker. But if you're a brave man diving down the inside where you've got 3 other cars ahead, and in a way it's so easy to spray a level late. Oh, Lars runs a bit deep though. Oh, he almost hits the wall. He has to back out massively, and that gives those 2 places to McConnell and Dan. And Blades as well, side by side. Blades gets through as well, and Lars as well, who's going to lose even more, I think.
Yeah. Yes, oh, there's a Renault going down the inside. That is Thibaut. But Lars defends the inside. Thibaut holding it round the outside. Oh, Lars loses it on exit. And it should be promoting Thibaut up into P13. Yes, it is. Now the inside for the Renault driver should be job done. It is job done. That's Lars losing 5 positions in only a couple of corners. Won't be happy with that one. Oh no, they're going side by side. Oh, it's Thibaut getting in front. For a second I thought they were gonna go side by side through Eau Rouge.
Yeah, that would have been scary, but up front, Sygate is trying to keep Ricky behind about P6. Fair Blade's doing pretty good as well. He's just a second and a half behind Connell, but yeah, Lars just getting caught out with you lose momentum, and you're a sitting duck in that 3rd sector because it's just all power.
Yeah, definitely.
Get away than it is a nightmare. Justin and Ricky all over each other there. It's annoying.
Getting the predicted pit stop strategy for the 3rd time this race, great.
Well,
it's
right.
yeah, exactly. You can't have enough information. Charlie is able to keep up with Robert in front. The same goes on for Ray Snipes, but they're already slowly starting to form some gaps. Ricky is struggling in P7. He notified us in the chat earlier today that he's got some troubles with his throttle application, so that's probably the reason why he's struggling a little bit, but puts it into overtake. Oh, and he makes a move through Blanchimont. Brilliant stuff from Ricky. Actually, he got it already done before Blanchimont.
Lost a lot. And Justin just about is able to turn around and not lose the back end.
Oh,
virtual safety car.
Thibaut.
Is he done a Raikkonen?
Through Blanchimont, yeah, I think he did. I think he did a Raikkonen.
Yeah. And so there's only a couple that chose to pit. Actually, no one pit yet. Sorry, I thought it was compared to 5 pits, but not the case. It is pointless right now.
Look at Charlie, he's so close to Robert. If he can time the virtual safety car good, then Should be able to make an overtake maybe down the inside. Sergey picked up 5 seconds for ignoring yellow flags. Must have made an overtake during the safety car conditions as Charlie touched the back of Robert. Still, the virtual safety car out on track.
Yeah, a little bit longer than expected.
Look at Charlie, he's really eager to get past Robert as it's green again. As they're making contact once again, it's Charlie putting the pressure on the Dutchman in front.
Yeah, very close to the top three, and Matty's only a second up the road, so it's really crucial for Charlie. You want to be in P2, and Rob will be trying to stay in P2. Oh, another yellow.
Oh, it's lost. It's lost it through Russell corner. And it's wing damage on the left hand side for the Dutchman, as he's having a disappointing race once again. It's just not going his way this whole season, as he has to box for a new front wing.
Yeah, the top three have now spread out a bit on this lap of range. Snipers is starting to join in on the party. One actually becomes Bloshmore, actually becomes a corner in these conditions. Dan still behind Justin. Well, about B7.
The virtual safety car helped Robert a little bit. He is now back into the rhythm. He is closing back into Matty because the gap was 1.5 seconds at some point. Now it's back to 8:10, so it definitely gave him a little bit of an advantage. But I think that's also the reason, because of Charlie putting the pressure on him. Now he needs to push, like he's got no excuse anymore. Talking about pushing, I think Charlie is trying to make an overtake on this lap. They both put it into overtake, but Charlie of course will have to slipstream. Is he gonna put it down the inside? He is trying. Well, he's thinking better of it. Purple sector 1, but not enough to get past the Haas driver in front. So the top 3 remains the same, with Rage Snipes actually being really close as well. The big gap, the first big gap, is between P4 and P5.
Yeah, that is the next big gap area. Ricky and Justin and Dan and Sygate falling behind now, falling behind him. Connell also not being able to get past Sygate, and that is costing him the opportunity to stay with those 3 ahead. But Dan at the moment is just not able to really make any inroads, surprisingly. Thought he would be done pretty well, but maybe he's just not quite happy in the balance.
Yeah, we hoped a little bit more from him. But it can still come this race, you never know. And as soon as we get a full course safety car or some changeable conditions, it can put the race completely on his head. So we've got to wait and see. Robert now put a little bit away from Charlie, give him a little bit of breathing space, and now with an 8/10 gap to Matthew Brubel, maybe he can think about making a move on Camel Straight.
He's just got a bit of wheel spin in the bus stop, unfortunately. That's gonna mean that he struggles to get too close. Obviously, without DRS, it does make it harder to overtake. So you're not relying on that massive amount of advantage in drag reduction. Look at this, Charlie really taking a lot of speed here through Rouge and Rat. Both using their overtake.
Playing much lower, we're gonna go down the inside. Well, Robert defends really well. Great on the Haas driver, and Charlie has to remain in P3. Charlie just wasn't committed there. We saw him closing in, going on top of Rodion, but then as soon as he wanted to pull to the outside, he had to brake or at least go off his throttle, and that caused him to have less straight line speed than the Haas driver. But I think Robert is running much lower wings as well, because you can see him struggling through the corners, but on the straight he's actually a rocket ship. 1.7 seconds now to Matty Robo, so the defending has lost him a little bit of time, but it's still a reasonable gap.
Well, it makes sense basically as to Rob that they might go towards closer right setup. So they are able to hold that straight line speed. And without the DRS as well, cars with the higher aero are just going to struggle so much, and they're going to have to use more ERS to make up for that loss in drag.
Saige struggling in front on grip. This maybe is allowing Connell to close back in. 5 tenths, the gap is now closing into 4 tenths, 3 tenths. He's definitely closing in. Is he gonna go for the move down inside the bus stop? Chicane? No, he's not. As Medroa puts in the fast lap of today's race.
Yeah, 159. So that's quite a bit slower than the dry pace. But it's quite understandable in these conditions right now.
Saige going defensive for Lassour's hairpin, which is costing him his exit, which is allowing Connell to maybe think about a move on Camel Straight. Let's see how they will manage Eau Rouge. Oh, Saige almost lost it, and that's definitely not helping his straight line speed. Connell moves to the outside with the overtake button. Side by side now. Oh, but Saige got much more straight line speed. Now braking late, defending. Oh, they make a contact. Connell has to cut a little bit of the track. Who's gonna come out on top? Oh, Connell clips a little bit of Saige, but it is all good, still on track. That's Connell up into P9. Hard defending from Saige, lost him a little bit of time. But at the end, no damage for both of them. Oh, and then picks up 3 seconds.
Alright, he'll be gutted. This is where you're able to save. If you're in these situations where you've got 3 guys ahead, you want to much more offensive line. Past these guys, you get conditions.
Which is waiting for Ricky to make a move before the other guys can think about making an overtake as well. Ricky is closing in through the bus stop. Having the pace in these kind of conditions, 3.2 seconds is the gap to Rage Snipes as Charlie puts in off the race with 1:59.1.
Yeah, great lap time there. It's all starting to come down. There's a drier line appearing. I was going to say drier, it's still very wet out there, but it's not standing water. And that is the cars themselves spurting towards the racing line. It does help, giving you a little bit more grip. Oh, Joel Granger loses it through a Rouge. Somehow, though, is able to recover it, and he only loses 1 plate, so I thought Joel was going to be one of the first casualties of Radion, but he just was able to hold it on. Car control from Joel. Ricky's pace speed's 3.3 behind Rage. Only lap 7 for 22, so those 22 laps will not fly by. They are going to be a long, grueling race for these drivers. But it's hard enough in the dry, these wet conditions, for a lot of them. And I think penalties are going to be a massive part in this by the end.
Yeah, definitely. If you can keep it clean around here, then you are almost certain to gain positions. But during Joel is almost lost in hill, and then again his rears are starting to give up, and I think he's got a few lives. He's pushing. Yeah, during Joe's little moment through Eau Rouge, really pretty move from. But let's do now because away and Joe is struggling, so this should be giving a hint to Justin that he needs to go as quick as possible. He needs to get a good exit to think about a move, which he does. Is he gonna go for the move already down into turn 1? Don't think he is. He's looking, but he is gonna wait for the Camel Straight.
Here we go.
Going on board with Red Bull now through Eau Rouge. Is Joe gonna have a moment once again? No, he's not. Justin, I think there has to be a warning. But now with the straight line speed, how good is the straight line speed of the Red Bull? It's not good because he's not even closing in on Joe with the so he has to stick behind the McLaren for probably another lap.
Yeah, and this is the issue once again. Having that wet setup's fine, but you don't need to make your overtakes down a straight, and if you haven't got the top line, straight line speed, you're not DRS assisted, it's a whole different ball game. You've then got a car that's great for on its own, like you see Ricky now just leaving Joel behind, but it doesn't leave you with a car that can overtake. And this is what we're seeing with Joel and Dan. They're much quicker.
Yeah, I'm really looking for, it's going to be very interesting to see if Charlie can actually get past me. Robbie saw Robert trying it for a couple of laps. Yeah, Charlie's definitely catching. But like closing in is one thing, overtaking is another. 6/10 now is the gap between both of them. And if I was Charlie, I would try to get past Matty on the Camel Straight. So make sure you're close in enough to think about a move. Save a little bit of ERS in the process, but he gets a really good exit through the bus stop. Oh,
he's lost it.
Yep, no life.
Well, he's still alive.
Still alive here, Balotelli.
That's Blades, Ricky, Roland.
Yeah, Blades and Roland fighting. It's Blades defending from Roland actually.
Somehow Joel didn't even get any damage.
Oh, look at Charlie.
Yeah, he's closing.
He's closing in, but I don't think it's enough for a move. No, he's not.
Yeah, thought better of it. It is still only lap 9 of 22. We're not even at the halfway point yet.
Going on board with our captain. A little bit of a sharpy exit out of Eau Rouge, but Blades got onto the grass. With overtake enabled, Roland isn't able to get past, so he has to stay behind Blades for another lap.
And Ricky is closed up on the back of Rage. He's now within a second. So Ricky looking very racy. And now Justin is going to be interested to see what his pace is like. Dan close behind. Those guys now being 6 and 7 after Joel's error at Marshall.
So we've got 3 guys, then 2 guys, then 2 guys, then 2 guys, then 2 guys, and then 2 guys. So spread out 3, but still close battles going on. Interesting to see. Let's go on board with the leaders.
Yeah, the wet running as well. You are able to save your ERS even more, so you can just always use them for those areas with the big long straights, like the leaders are about to enter. Does slightly improve.
Yeah, Matty's still on 80% ERS, so he's doing a brilliant job saving up that ERS. He's using it coming out of the shoes, yeah.
Smart.
Creating that little bit of space between him and Charlie to prevent Charlie from overtaking him on the Camel Straight. But is it enough? Charlie's closing in, but once again I think he's not going to be close enough to maybe even think about a move. He's not quick enough.
And is it me, or does it look a little bit lighter? Like the clouds are looking a little bit brighter.
I just wanted to say the same. Yeah, it's still heavy rain I think, but
yes.
they're nearing the period of light rain, I assume.
Yeah. Great.
Oh, Roland got past. Actually, they're fighting. Oh, side by side. Still side by side. Oh, they make contact. One Blades kept it on track. Tokyo Drift on screen. It's really well done. We got that one on stream, mate. Clip that and save it.
Yeah. DK will be proud of that one. But they lived to find another day, and Blades still has a low. Oh, we got a yellow in sector 1.
Yellow sector 1, that's Lars.
Yeah.
Lars is having a terrible race. Well, fair play to him, he's still like continuing on.
Safety car.
Yes, yeah.
Actually would do.
Good
See,
Charlie.
it's too early to retire. Yeah, Charlie struggling to get. He's getting a lot of wheel spin.
Pit window open. Or are these guys gonna wait for the intermediate period? From what I can see on screen, ooh.
Well, there's a few guys pitting.
Yeah, there's a few guys.
And Sygate pitting. And you're interesting way to pits. We've got 3 runners in the pits.
Both Sygate and Blades in the pits. Sygate serving is 5 seconds, which is not helping Blades, because now I held up in. Well, I think he lost about 3 seconds there, so this is definitely not helping his race. And from wing change indeed. Question will be, what are the leaders gonna do? Are they gonna pit as well, or are they gonna stay out? If they're gonna pit, then I think the light rain period is still a long time away. If not, then I think they are waiting for the light rain period to come. What I can see on screen, I think it's already light rain.
Yeah,
I don't think this is heavy rain. I think it changed, yeah.
So if these guys can stay out a little bit longer, I'm sure they'll be checking that. But it definitely looks lighter to me.
But on the other hand, like Connell, Sygate, Blades, and Lars all stopped, so they get the same. If they have heard that it was like light rain in 5 or 10 minutes, they would not have gone on to the wet tire. Charlie into the pits. Interesting. What is he gonna go on to?
This will be very interesting now.
Another set of. Yep.
It is wet, yeah. So he's going for the wet strategy.
Good stop.
He was the only one who pitted. Ronan isn't pitting. Pitting either. Oh no, he is. Joel was pitting, and so is Sneaky Tom. So Charlie is out in P7, he's 6 seconds behind. Sorry, yeah, 6 seconds behind Dan in P6. Yeah, but to me, it looks like that rain is dropping. That intensity is definitely dropping.
Yes. Didn't make a stop. Just gonna. Yeah. Yeah.
Very interesting.
Oh, Blades going on to Inters. The first one to go. He is trying out new things. I'll be very interested to see. Let me get the gap to leader up on screen, because it will be very interesting. He is gaining time. Everyone will go on to the Inters. He's on a straight now, so yeah, we can't see.
Fair enough. But yeah, this first, the beginning of the second sector really is going to tell us the story.
Yeah.
It's a bit slidey to me. It's close. Yeah, it's still not quite there though.
No, he's still losing time. A lot of time actually. So they have to stay out for a little bit longer.
It's not far off, but yeah, it's still definitely wet. Keep an eye out to see when Blade starts to turn that pace around. Lap 13 of 22. Matty Robbo leading from Robert in second, Rage Snipes P3, Ricardo P4, Justin 5th, Dan at 6th, and then Charlie. The top of the guys who have pitted, P7, Roland P8, 9, Sygate 10, Control, Pure Blades at last, rounding out 11 and 14. And Pure Blades the only one now on Intus at the moment, and he is losing a couple of seconds a lap. Thanks to his rivals around him.
Yeah, Sneaky Tom is still improving on his personal best. So that still shows the fact that it's not time for Inters. And I think we're approaching the point where the guys on the 12 lap old wets are slowly wanting to make a pit stop, because they must be entering some kind of puncture territory.
Oh, I thought for a minute there Matt was looking to pit, but no, they are obviously trying to hope for the Inter to come into effect. And to be fair, Blades now it's almost even. It's still Sneaky Tom going a little bit quicker, but Lars isn't really catching Blades by that much. And the Inter is very close.
Oh, Charlie, look at this. That's almost 2 seconds quicker. Oh, Tom! Ooh. Almost been into the wall. But that's almost 2 seconds quicker than the other fastest lap. So that still shows that it's definitely still time for the full wet tires. And look, he's almost closed back in on the guys in front.
Yeah, but it
like
will work the other way when these guys obviously do pit. You know, whether it's intermediate or it's full wet tyre that they pit on, those guys will have the advantage towards the end of the race. But it's still, I mean, either Charlie's got this right, hit in at when to, during the pit window, or will it be the guys that have decided to hang on in there, wait for the track to come to them, where it'll be dry enough for Inters.
Oh, Joe, virtual safety car. Oh.
See it already on. Now, these guys are too far away from pits.
Yeah, but I think the last virtual safety car stay out really long as well. So maybe if it stays out long enough, they can make a pit stop. And the question will be, on what tire will they go onto? I think another set of wet tires.
Thing is, it could just about go green again as soon as they go in the pits anyway.
Yeah, good point. It's gonna be the gamble you take. It's green again. Oh, that's a tricky one. Matty goes. Robert stays out. No, he goes in as well.
Yeah, and
Rage goes in. Ricky stays out. Yeah, that's Ricky. Ricky is not gonna follow the leaders.
Justin's crashed in the pits. Justin crashed in the pits, and has he got wing damage? I wonder if he caught it. I heard the noise.
Yep, he's gonna get a wing replacement. Oh, and it goes on Inters. Everyone goes on Inters.
Yeah, it makes sense.
You have to gamble.
I know why, because Blades is starting to close back in on Sneaky Tom.
Oh, that's on oh, yeah, and Sneaky Tom, and he's closing in on Ricky. Yep.
And they're only 7 seconds behind Charlie. That's how much time they lost from just a couple of laps from Charlie being on fresh wets. But here we go now. Got a battle of wets versus Inters already. Matty is starting to claw his way in. I feel like the Inter is just about almost in its window now. Oh, we got yellow in sector 3. Oh, we got
that's Lars.
Getting a little bit excited now. Charlie is all over the back of Dan. That's all. Roland's spun! Oh, Roland does a 360 spin there, very nice.
Yeah, I caught the end bit of it. That looked sexy.
Yeah, it looked very
Oh,
professionally
brilliant.
done there.
Yeah.
The captain showing us the way. But Rage,
That was brilliant.
P6.
Did he spin it on his own, or did he
I
make
think
contact?
I didn't see it, but him and Rage were alongside. Well, they were right near each other. So, yeah, I think maybe they were side by side, or yeah, maybe he did lose on his own.
Well, look at this. What are the leaders gonna do? Ricky goes into the pits, Dan goes into the pits, Charlie goes into the pits.
Yeah. Well, that's why it's Matty. He's already 4.5 seconds behind. He's got a massive trouble.
And look at this as well. Charlie has to double stack.
Yeah.
So he is gonna lose out on a lot of time.
Yeah, this was unfortunately he went the wrong way, going with the wet to wet, so now we can do 2 stops, and the tyres are only going to be 1 lap newer as well, so we won't even get the overcut advantage. So he is going to drop down. It's just ahead of Justin. Justin's going to have the momentum here. All side by side. And Justin takes it. Charlie down. And Charlie's on wets again. Oh no, he's messed it up.
No way.
Really?
Yep, yes. Oh. It's his race down the drain.
Yeah. That is just one of those where you're not looking. Maybe it was a late call.
Oh, and he pushed up 3 seconds in the process. We saw it on a lovely helicopter view, can't stretch it enough. You absolutely love this camera. But yeah, it's going from bad to worse, and Charlie will either have to make another pit stop or lose out on a lot of time.
Safety car is only hope now.
Yep, it is.
Another safety car to get him back in the field.
Look at Robert, he's closing in. Was 2.1, now it's 1.8. Is this the time for Robert to catch back in on Matty Robbo? The championship leader is doing a brilliant job once again. He said to me 2 weeks ago that he wanted a gap to P2 and P3 before Monaco, and he at least wanted it to be 25 points. Well, I can tell you already, it's gonna be a lot more than that if he keeps it on track. He's doing a brilliant job so far as Justin gets past Roland, who is still on the wets. Knowing Roland, he will probably try to stretch it to the end of the race.
Robert setting a fastest lap of the race, 1.6 behind our leader. So we start lap 17 for 22. Ricky Rage is now in a couple of P3. Charlie has pitted once again. Now Charlie hopefully will select intermediate. And it is intermediates this time.
He is pitting together with Roland. They're both gonna come out now, so we will still be in the points. Saiga is still on wets, so they will definitely get out in front of him again. But Connell is really close. Let's have a look between all of them, because this is gonna get tasty, baby.
Yeah, Roland did get a great run out of that one. Sidegate, oh, they're side by side. This ain't gonna go well. And Charlie has to back out, being smart. Great, Sidegate, but here he comes again. Charlie with the extra grip. Side by side with Sidegate. Sidegate's going to be on the wetter part of the track. He won't be able to break his lane. And that is shown with Charlie going around the outside to take P8. Oh, and Sidegate's got no grip whatsoever. He's going to hit the wall. Oh, he's lucky he didn't lose a wheel there.
Yeah, he lost his right end plate. Yeah, he lost his right end plate. That's it has to be another pit stop for Sidegate probably. But Charlie got past around the outside. Good job from the forward diver. He's looking to get past Roland now for P7.
Yeah, Sidegate's got no grip in that. Those tyres are completely overheated. You'll be lucky to hold it this whole lap here. Yeah, that rear end is so loose. Yeah, 1.5 seconds between the top two. 5 to go.
Yeah, the gap is sort of stabilizing now between Matty and Robert, and I don't think Robert is gonna have the pace advantage on Matty to get past. And the penalty situation is the same as well, both on 0 penalties. So yeah, unless one of them picks up a penalty, nothing is gonna change.
Yeah. Dan is 1.8 behind Ricky, closing up a little bit. Only got 5.7 to Justin, and then a massive 20 seconds. Roland and Charlie, and Connell as well. Sygate still chooses to stay out. In this case, I feel like Sygate's going to crash. There's no point in staying out. He might as well get the interval, try and get the fastest lap.
Yeah, and just, yeah, there's nothing else you can do.
Oh, that rear end's lost it. There we go. He's lost it. He hits the wall. But he survived somehow.
He survived once again, but you called it already. This is brilliant. You should go to the casino tonight.
It was so loose. Watching it on board, it was so loose. It was bound to happen. And he will crash again somewhere else. The rear end on that car is gone completely. He just needs to pit.
Oh, he loses it again. No,
yeah,
he's okay. It's gone.
Yeah, any fast corner now, he's gonna risk just losing the back end. And he was lucky he went into Radion. He went into the barriers backwards.
I want to watch it for Pool.
Yeah, it's gonna be. Yeah.
It's sad, but I want to watch it. He's letting his teammate go through, small play. How is he gonna manage Pool?
Oh, luckily the front wing's pretty bad. This bit is tricky, going on power.
Fair enough, he managed it well. Yeah, if I was him, I would make a pit stop. Roberto, 1.4 seconds it is now, but in this rate he's not gonna be able to close in enough to think about a move. I just want to mention as well, yeah, Charlie with the fast lap time. Look at the gap between P1 and P7. Like, Matty and Roland going through Brussels corner now, and Roland and Charlie are not even on Eau Rouge. It's insane, the gap between. Like, I understand they made an extra pit stop, but still, the gap is insane.
It's and Sygate does pit now, but yeah, these guys. Well, this was because they've done 1 pit stop less. Roland, all the guys from P7 below pitted, obviously for another wet tyre, didn't they?
Yeah.
That is why it's a big gap, because essentially the top 6 didn't stop. They only stopped 7 below that and had to stop twice. And Matty, I think it's just pacing himself, to be honest. He's been able to extend the lead back up to 5. And this is where he gets to the twitchy bump time. Lap coming to the start, lap 20 and 22. So we'll have 2 laps to go. 3 laps to go.
Yeah, 3 including this one. So Robert is improving. He's picking up the pace now. 1.3. He's putting the pressure on Matty. He's definitely putting the pressure on Matty. But I think, knowing Matty, he is thinking about his championship at this point. He is not thinking about getting the win. I don't think he really cares about it. Of course you want to win. But he will be happy with the P2 as well, knowing that Ricky is in P4, knowing that Connell is in P9. He is still gonna gain some good points. So I think he will be happy anyway. Ricky now in P4. Look at how close Dan is. 6/10 is then gonna make a move. He puts it up into overtake. He's only got 10% ERS left, so the only thing he can do is close in.
Yeah, he really can do that DRS.
Charlie gets past Roland through La Source hairpin. Is Roland gonna come back at him? Above an overtake, and Roland really low on ERS. He needs to watch out because he's gonna run out of ERS if he keeps like this. In fact, he is running out of ERS right now.
Yeah. But he keeps that overtake button wide open.
He doesn't care.
Yeah, Charlie able to hold on. Charlie should be able to keep 7th now. He's 18.4 behind Justin, so I don't think he'll be able to make any places.
No, unless Justin cuts every single corner from the remaining of this race, but I don't think that's gonna happen.
No, so we got 2.25 laps left now. I think our back leaders are catching up to backmarkers in Lars, I believe it is.
Yeah, can you play a little bit of a game with Matty? Maybe try to distract him a little bit. Of course, you are not allowed to get into the way of the leader. He will get blue flag, so he has to get out of the way. But maybe giving him a little bit of dirty air could cause some troubles. Oh, nah, he's too far away, and he will probably let these guys through on the camel straight, I reckon. Lars is not the kind of guy to mess up some things.
1.7 the gap between Matty and Roberts.
Yeah, it did go up again on the last lap.
Ricky and Dan both barely an ERS.
Dennis closing in, but he's just not closing in enough.
Well, they're both using their ERS in the same places as well.
Yeah.
Dan had a bit more ERS, he can use it in areas that Ricky wouldn't be able to. Yeah, it's Ricky and Dan, it'll be very frustrating, he just can't overtake. His wet setup, me and Benny couldn't overtake. It may have been a good setup in clear air, but he's never really been in clear air. And down the straights, he just doesn't make any inroads. So it'll be a lesson learned.
Charlie with the false lap, but he's only a tenth quicker than Robert, so maybe if Robert just pushes for one last lap, he can maybe snatch fast lap off Charlie and take an extra point in this race, but the gap is 1.8 seconds even, and with the last lap starting now, I don't think that's gonna happen unless Matty picks up a penalty on the last lap. We're gonna go focus on the battle between Ricky and Dan, because I think this is gonna get really tasty.
Like it's 3 seconds, but he is way down the order in P12. As Matty gets past the teammate Lars. I think he just needs to take it out, get it home now.
Yeah, Dan is not close enough to make a move on Ricky. So unless Ricky makes a mistake, which I don't think is gonna happen, it stays the same. I don't know about the penalty situation. I think Ricky will... I know Dan has got at least 6 seconds. So I think on penalties nothing is gonna change as well. Oh, Roland picks up 3 seconds.
Got a little mighty launcher Randy on, but
at the end not enough the ERS to make a move. Gets a purple sector 1 though.
Yeah.
You already said it, great launch.
He was awesome.
Oh, thanks Slapper.
Yeah.
For a banana.
That's what happens when you ask too much of your rear end. When you give your front a load of aggressive lock, rear end's like, I'm not taking that, and you're on your way to an accident. But he was able to recover it well as the leaders are heading down to the final corner.
Robert has given up. He is gonna bring the car home and dry. But Matty Robbo with a brilliant race, dominating performance, pole position, leading from lap 1 to lap 22 as he takes the victory here at Spa. Robert takes P2. Ray Snipes coming out of bus stop now. He is gonna take P3. Will be happy with his podium spot. Ricky should be able to take P4 unless some penalties happen. Nope. Justin through bus stop now. Is he gonna snatch P5 of Dan? No, he's not. P6 for Justin. Big gap to Charlie and Robert. Robert, Charlie and Roland, sorry. Through bus stop now. Is Roland gonna get him on penalties? Oh! We all knew what he was gonna do. He did a little bit of a Lando Norris on the last lap. As he is not gonna take it on penalties. Connell weaves across the line, takes P9. He's waiting now for Sneaky Tom to take the final point in this race. Coming off the bus stop now. Pink Panther takes the final point with Blades pretty close behind him, to be honest. Blades closed in, not enough. Was the first one to gamble and going on to the intermediate tires. It paid off at the end, but he lost too much time at the beginning. And Saige, he went on to the inters way too late. Did the extreme opposite to his teammate. Goes through Blanchimont now, as he will be the last one to come across the finish line. Yeah, a little bit of a boring race today, I'm not gonna lie. But knowing the last 6 races in this tier, we can't complain really, can we?
It was an interesting race because of the weather.
Yeah.
In terms of when it was easing off. But yeah, unfortunately, it made it tricky. The problem was, without DRS, you realise how much harder it actually is to overtake. And having less ERS options available to you in this game means that it is much easier to defend using the ERS, I feel, when you don't have DRS.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, on this game you can really tell the dirty air is having an effect, and without the DRS it makes it so much harder to overtake. And we saw it today once again. The guys who went for a low downforce setup really benefited from it because it was so hard to overtake them, and people with a high downforce setup were just struggling through the corners because they had so much more pace, but just couldn't show it. But at the end it gave us a podium of Medirobo, Robert and Ray Snipes. Once again, I think the same as last week.
Yeah.
Ricky taking P4, then P5 with the Iceland flag for some reason. Justin P6, Charlie P7, Roland P8, Connell P9, Sneaky Tom taking the final point P10, Blades P11, Sagai P12, Lars P13, Joe P14, Thibaut P15 and Jizzy P16. Gonna invite these guys to the commentary box. Let's see, Matty, Robert and Rich Snipes. So we're waiting for these guys to join the box so we can ask them some questions. If you got some questions for these drivers, ask them in the chat. Gonna put an Alfa Romeo into the spotlights once again. We have it. We're waiting for Robo now to join as well. Robert and Rich Snipes are already in. There he is.
Hey.
Jesus.
To everyone in here, yeah, you're familiar to the podium, but make sure your audio is allowed to be shared. And then we can start off with Ray Snipes. First of all, congratulations on taking P3 in this race. You had a really good start, gained a positions, but after that, I think it was quite a boring race, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was boring, and yeah, wet. I hate wet tracks, and I was just doing what Matty was doing, and I had a P3 and amazing start. That's all.
Yeah, amazing start. Were you hoping for a little bit more in this race, or are you at the end happy with the P3?
I'm happy with the P3 because I hate wet tracks, so even didn't expect a P3 or a podium, so I'm pretty happy.
Fair enough, mate. Really well done. Congratulations on the P3. Enjoy it.
Thank you.
Going on to our P2. Robert, yeah, once again, P2, you were close to Matty for 22 laps, but not close enough to make an overtake. How frustrating was it, or are you still happy with the P2 at the end?
Yeah, I'm proud of myself for even finishing the race because it's my first ever wet race without traction control and automatic gears, so that's a plus for me. But I was already pretty disappointed in qualifying when Matty got pole position. Well, I set the same lap time, but I set it first, and I thought I should have put pole position. But
Yeah, that's what we thought as well. Really strange.
yeah, but then I had second, still good position to start, obviously. But I think in the end, starting second may have killed my race a bit because then I was pressured by Charlie, who was really quick, and Matty. And when Charlie got a wrong pit stop, I was 2 seconds behind Matty, and then we just had the same pace the whole race. So if I would have been in front, I think it would have been the other way around because we were just like strangely equal on pace.
Yeah, we saw the gap like closing in from like 2 seconds to 1.6, so we were thinking like, oh, maybe they're gonna close in, but then Medi stretched away. Once again, it was sort of balancing between 1.5 and 2 seconds. Yeah, and yeah, like you said, no traction control and manual gears for the first time in the rain is always tricky, but you managed to bring it home, and once again a solid performance, and congratulations on the P2, mate, really well deserved.
Yeah, thanks.
And going on to a race winner once again, no safety car to turn the race on his head. Will be happy with that one. And taking the P1 in this race, yeah. Coming back at what Robert said, how crucial was it for you to take pole position in this race at the end?
Obviously, I think it's the first wet race this season for all of us, especially on a game where it involves a lot of ERS and DRS is quite vital. It obviously shows that without DRS, it's quite difficult to overtake. So, in the end, pole position was obviously showing crucial, but I don't think either of us expected to set exactly the same time, and unfortunately, Robert was harshly done by Cody's because I think it should have been the other way around as well. But I'd take that bit of stroke of luck, and then Charlie was quick. Just unfortunately, strategy sort of just let him down because I think he probably on pace would have beaten both of us because me and Robert were pretty much the same.
Yeah, me and Lewis were wondering how close were you guys to pitting for another set of wets, or did you guys knew immediately that you were gonna go onto the inters for your first pit stop?
Well, go on, Robert.
I was kind of doubting if I should pit for another set of wets, but then I looked at my wear, and in lap 11 I think I had 40% wear, so I knew I could go on for a bit. And then Charlie pitted, and literally in the lap Charlie pitted, Jeff told me light rain is here to stay, so I thought, well, may as well stretch it to where inters will come in.
Yeah, pretty much the same. Knew it was close about the halfway stage, and then Jeff came over the radio, light rain will stay for us for 20 minutes. I was just like, I'll stay out, I think.
Yeah, fair enough. Good decision at the end because you just saw the gap between you and Charlie at the end. So really good choice, and congratulations on the P1, and to the rest of the guys, congratulations on the podium.
Well done, guys. Well done.
So with that, it rounds off the stream for today. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Lewis, thank you for joining the commentary box with me.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure. Thanks everyone, and congratulations to the top 3.
Yeah, really well done to the podium guys. Sorry about the quality of the stream halfway through the race. I saw the problems as well. I will try to fix it for next week. Don't know what it was. I had some internet issues earlier on today, so I think that may be the issue. Other than that, if you want to see any more of Console Speed, make sure to follow on our Twitch channel. Make sure you subscribe as well on our YouTube channel. If you want to keep up with anything that is about Console Speed, make sure you follow our social media on Twitter and on Instagram. Make sure to tune in tomorrow for the AU2 and AM2 race, on Wednesday for the AU1 and AM1 race, and on the Thursday for the AU4 race. Special message for everyone who's got the Porsche Cars 2 game. We are setting up a league as well, sort of kind of bit. So if you're interested in joining our league, not for F1 but for Porsche Cars 2, make sure you go onto the bottom of our Twitch page where should be the Discord channel. Go follow it, go join it, and you should be in. Other than that, if you feel very generous, we've got our web shop as well in the description. And like I always say, thank you for tuning in, stay safe, and goodbye.